All right, YouTube, what is going on? It is Zaya here from Zaya&TheSteelers back with another video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. So if you guys are Steelers fans or you enjoy NFL content in general, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Shout out to the people who have subscribed already. And shout out to the future subscribers, man. Also, let's get a shout out to the members. If you guys would like to support me and this channel more, be sure to hit that join button down in the description below. And what has been happening this week with the Pittsburgh Steelers, man? Because let me tell you, it has been just story after story, clip after clip of old Russell Wilson not being able to play, man. It is very unfortunate for Russell Wilson, these injuries that he's been going through, the situation that we found ourselves in. However, we are in the position to where we have a Justin Fields who we are looking forward to seeing. We are looking forward to like seeing play. But the main topic of it all, just because of like how it has gone, has just been like Russell Wilson and like, is he healthy? Is he not healthy? Is he gonna play? Is he not gonna play? It really seems like he's not going to play, man. So we have this video up here from Andrew Filipponi, and we can see how Russell Wilson's been looking in practice the last couple of days. And he's just, you can tell he's kind of moving a little stiff. He's kind of moving like, not with the fluidity that Mr. Unlimited would, allow himself to be moving at. And, it's just something, man. Like, we've talked about it over and over and over again. Like, if you're not healthy, if he can't play, then, like, a 70% Russell Wilson, if he's at 70%, I believe a 100% Justin Fields is the better option. And it's just, I never expected it to like happen like this. I assumed when he got hurt in training camp and, he came back and was playing again, like I was like, okay, he's back. This is, we put it behind us. It was a little glitch in the matrix, but Russell Wilson is back now. But it just does not seem like that. And so now we are heading into week 2, going through similar things of okay, Russell Wilson, he's probably not going to play. And I think it's more, a question for the media sake, for like other teams' sake, to kind of like make like the Broncos like have to game plan a little differently. Like, okay, maybe if Russ plays, they'll do this. If Justin Fields plays, they'll do this. But I think we all know that Russell Wilson isn't going to play this Sunday. And it is what it is. It happens. Like I said, like it's just been a very unfortunate situation. But Justin Fields, he looked all right in week 1. He definitely, he didn't make mistakes. He made the plays that need to be made. And we're only looking for him to grow. And this is somebody who can potentially be our quarterback of the future. This is somebody who can potentially be our quarterback, even this season, like our quarterback of the now, to lead us into, you know what I'm saying, the playoffs. Because we're 1-0, man. Big 1-0. We're the only undefeated team in the AFC North. So like we run shit over here. And Justin Fields, you did that, brother. Like I know he's used to the Chicago Bears. And it's like, oh, week 3, we're in last place, #1 overall pick again. You know what I'm saying? I know he's used to that. But now that he's a Steeler, man, like we got expectations, we got goals that we're trying to hit. And so Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, I don't want to say like the opportunity has been gifted, because I feel like that makes light of the situation. But before it wasn't known if Justin Fields was going to play much at all. And now here he is playing 2 weeks at least in this beginning part of the season. And I just didn't see it coming, But Justin Fields, he's, done well in his position. He's done well at the moment. And I'm excited to see him keep playing, although I do wish Russell Wilson was healthy. I would have loved to see Russell Wilson play. We will see if he ends up, getting healthy and playing eventually in the season, or if Justin Fields just goes and takes the job from him. Because the more we play, the more fluidity we get, the more W's we stack up, and the more good plays happen. It's going to be harder and harder to replace now Justin Fields for Russell Wilson again. But we'll have to see what the Steelers end up doing, man. I am not Mike Tomlin. And speaking of Mike Tomlin, though, we do have some Mike Tomlin clips up here of how he responded today in practice. And let's see what Mike Tomlin has to say about these situations.
Regarding Russell's availability, I'm going to list him as questionable.
Big question.
So obviously, if his availability is questionable, then starting is less so. But we've been in that mindset all week, man. Like I've said, we've been focused on getting Justin ready to play, and we'll continue in that mindset as we push forward toward game time. Questions?
When it comes to your offensive line situation, how have you been handling
this is something else we're going to talk about
during practice, especially with Troy getting more reps now?
I think the only thing different this week is Troy is more available. Obviously, his availability is not in question, and so I've been more thoughtful about how to distribute reps. And at the end of this thing, we'll determine who plays and how often.
What have you learned about Troy's ability to jump on and train?
He's been here the whole time. His injury is different than Roman. If you will, Roman got hurt in the very early portions of the process. He's been a component, a large component of the process, and so it's a different discussion.
How has Broderick worked on the left side?
Broderick's been working on right and left since the spring.
Broderick's been working on right and left since the spring. shout out to Broderick Jones and all of the like situations we have put him in, man. Of course, this is like the second biggest topic of the Steelers right now, obviously behind Russell Wilson and what's going on with him. Our offensive line, man, like what in the heck are we doing with this offensive line? So obviously we draft Troy Fautanu in the first round to be our right tackle, right? We drafted him to be our right tackle. And he's going to be our right tackle, but he was hurt in training camp and in week 1, so he didn't play. And so who played at right tackle in week 1? It's been Broderick Jones. But the problem is, what does Broderick Jones play? Broderick Jones plays left tackle. He is not a right tackle. But why can't we put Dan Moore at right tackle? Because Dan Moore cannot play right tackle. We talked about it in a past video or whatever. Like Dan Moore just like literally he just cannot play right tackle. And Broderick Jones has some kind of, you know what I'm saying, ability to flip on both sides. Like he can play left, he can play right. But he should be playing the left tackle spot. And then Troy Fautanu, he's going to be our right tackle. Like the right tackle is only a question because Troy is hurt. If Troy is not hurt, then Troy just slides there. The question, though, comes to Broderick and Dan Moore. Because for as much as we see about Dan Moore, as much as we say about Dan Moore, the Steelers, they see something. Mike Tomlin, he sees something. And Dan Moore, for the most part, like I said, I seen him in week 1. I was watching that 65 jersey, and I thought he looked pretty good in pass protection for what it's worth in that one game. You know what I'm saying? I thought he looked pretty good in that situation. However, we know that Dan Moore, I just don't think he's that guy, man. I really don't. But the Steelers, they, you know what I'm saying? They certainly seem to think so. And so it's such a weird situation. Then you look at Broderick, and it's like we're putting him at right tackle, and he plays bad at right tackle, and then we put him at left tackle sparingly, and it's like, are you our left tackle? And we look back, Broderick Jones was in the same position that Troy Fautanu was in. Broderick was our like first overall pick. And then the prior draft, you know, we even traded up to get Broderick Jones for that left spot. And here we are, like, continuing to start Dan Moore at the left tackle position. You know what I'm saying? I just don't get it. We have this tweet up here, too. It's sounding more and more this week that the Steelers could be starting Dan Moore Jr. and Troy Fautanu this week, and I think it would actually be a good thing for Broderick Jones. Gives him a chance to reset, get healthier, and put all of his focus to a full-time transition to the left tackle position. I agree with this. Obviously, you know, we have other players like on the team. Like I guess Spencer Anderson, who is like filling in at guard right now, if potentially like Broderick Jones, like he just cannot play the right tackle spot either. And, you know, we just don't ever want to put him there. We could have somebody else go to right tackle. And like Broderick Jones, he only comes in when that left tackle spot is up for grabs, right? But you know what I'm saying? Like starting Dan Moore at left tackle at this point in life to me is just not the move. It just isn't the move, man. Like I would rather just put Broderick Jones out there because he is going to be our left tackle of the future. And like I get it with quarterbacks, I get it with other positions. But we are now in year 2 of Broderick Jones' career, and like the way we've used him, the way we've like shifted in and out, it's been crazy. Like, what are we gonna? Is Broderick Jones like maybe he gets frustrated, maybe he like requests a trade or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Or like maybe we trade him because like we just love Dan Moore. Like if we just love Dan Moore and he's this good, why did we take Broderick Jones in the first round, man? Like I just don't get it. Why would we do that if Dan Moore is this good? And Dan Moore, he's continuously improved. He's continuously battled the doubters. He's continuously done this, and I love this for Dan Moore. I love the Steeler Dan Moore. But at some point, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just frustrating because I know that sometimes, man, Dan Moore does not be putting out some good tape, and Dan Moore has caused a lot of quarterbacks to get sacked, man. Maybe Broderick Jones has too. You know, it can't all just be perfect. Maybe I'm just sleeping on Dan Moore and like I'm overhyping Broderick Jones. But this story, it's just been very frustrating to me, you know, and I'm sure it's been frustrating to you guys out there of like us just putting Dan Moore in and like we know he's bad, but like Broderick Jones, our first round pick, mind you, our first round pick, he has to like ease his way into or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. Maybe Broderick Jones just he's just not him as much as like, you know what I'm saying, we thought he was going to be. I don't know. I don't even want to discredit him because like I said, we've been playing the guy at the wrong fucking position for a year and a half now. So, you know, I'll let you like, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys do? You think this is the right move? I guess it's the right move if, you know what I'm saying? Like if Dan Moore, if Troy Fautanu, if they really are just like them, you know, if this really is the best tackles that we can get, the best tackle combination that we can get. Hey man, I know we took you in the first round, but it is what it is. We goofed, you know, like we fucked up. Like we got to put Dan Moore out there. I get it. But I just haven't seen enough from Dan Moore to be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let him go to left tackle. And like, let's just have Broderick Jones on the bench. Like, I just don't think that's the move. But hey, yeah, it's just me. It's just Zaya here from Zaya and the Steelers. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Next up, I wanted to talk about this because I thought it was kind of interesting. Arthur Smith said it was his choice not to have Justin Fields throw in the middle of the field. Didn't want to have Jesse Bates wreck the game. He has a ton of respect for Bates. R. Jason Bourne, TJ Watt wrecked this game. Theirs didn't. Let's get a gunshot for that. Our Jason Bourne wrecked this game, and yours didn't, man. You know what I'm saying? Like This literally started, by the way, because of Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett, bro. This like graph of like where the throws went, none of them were in the middle of the field again. And like I said, this literally is a thing because of Kenny Pickett and Matt Canada, because we just avoided that part of the field. We never used that part of the field. And this one, yeah, and I don't think it wasn't on purpose that like we weren't using that part of the field. It just like wasn't in the game plan to use that, right? Or like it just what like we just didn't have the plays. Like this is like week in and week out, week in and week out. We're not using the middle of the field, okay? Arthur Smith, week 1, Justin Fields. Again, we don't use the middle of the field. However, Arthur Smith is saying, yo, we did that on purpose, bro. We did that, like, we have plays in the middle of the field, but they got Jesse Bates. That's their Jason Bourne. And you know what I'm saying? We're not even fucking with Jason Bourne right now. You know, like, we're not even worried about that. We just won't use the middle of the field. It's cool. And I am inclined to believe this. However, in the same breath that I've talked about, like, the Broderick Jones situation of, like, you know, okay, I guess we'll put Dan Moore there. Arthur Smith, I'm inclined to believe you. You know, it's only 1 week. But we got to start hitting that middle of the field, man. We got to start hitting that middle of the field. And like I said, it's only week 2. So, you know, and we're already 1-0. We're undefeated. Like, it really could just prove to be nothing. You know what I'm saying? It really could just prove to be, you know, whatever. And then we end up using the middle of the field in this next game. But, you know, it definitely is cause for concern, but it really is. And I want to hammer this point home. Whenever you see a graph of like where a quarterback's throws were and whatnot, for any quarterback, for any team, just know that Kenny Pickett and Matt Canada started that shit, because the way they were getting dissected after every fucking 13-10 win last year was crazy. I'm like that, and I'm telling you, that is the reason for people posting these graphs, and that is the reason for the criticism of it all, is because we were just so frustrated by it at the time of it happening last season. Shout out to Arthur Smith, like I said. You know, like intentional game planning, man, like that's something an OC could do. That's something a head coach could do. Atlanta, you guys are 0-1 and let them go. That's tough. We got him though, you know what I'm saying? We gave him a chance, and I respect Arthur Smith for that. Lastly, of this video, I do want to kind of want to acknowledge the fact that we did re-sign Terrell Edmonds. If you guys have been a follower of this channel for a while, you know how I felt about getting rid of him at the time. Like, I thought it was dumb. I thought, hey, you know, this is a guy who's been a starter for us for a while. He at the very least could be a backup, I guess, if we're looking to improve at the safety position. And on top of that too, he got paid like nothing. He got paid nothing to leave. And he's been going through teams. Like, he's been cut, he's been released, like he's been traded. And I just don't get it, because to me, this guy is a solid safety, man. Like, I genuinely think he is a solid safety. And the problem is we took him in the first round, and Yinzer's just, you know what I'm saying? We hate all of our players. We hate everybody on the Steelers. And so, like, we just, you know what I'm saying? We were already down on Terrell Edmonds before he even stepped on the field. Like, when we drafted him, there was, like, a lot of upset people about the pick. And then on, like, it never came back down. It never got better. And it was just like, oh, Terrell Edmonds, like, he sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, he sucks, and he's never going to be good. And, like, he's played okay. To me, he played okay, you know, his whole tenure here. He was never, like, this fucking ball hawk. He was never, like, Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, this Brian Dawkins. Like, he was never, like, this safety. But I don't think he was Sean Davis, you know? Like, I don't think he was just, like, you know, worst safety ever. I don't think he was just worst safety out there. Like, our secondary is horrible, and the killer bees, like, we're getting let down by our secondary. Like, I don't think Terrell Edmonds was ever like that. You know, I don't think he was ever this liability that people make him out there to believe. I just think people they're using it to dog our draft picks. And, you know, somehow, some way, just like I talked about the quarterback graph, like somehow, some way, Terrell Edmonds gets clowned because, like, people are making fun of our first round picks, and people want to hate on Kenny Pickett and Najee Harris, man. And they use Terrell, oh, see, like, here's another bad first round pick by the Steelers. Like, hey, I know it was a first round pick, and you expect a little bit more from your first round picks. But ignoring that fact, I think Terrell Edmonds has been a solid player, and I'm very happy he's back on the team. It's only right. And we will have to see how he is used on the actual, you know what I'm saying, on the actual field. Because right now, Deshaun Elliott, to me, is pretty good. And our corner situation, I think, is better than what people say. And maybe Terrell can play in the linebacker department. Maybe he can play up in the box. I don't know. We'll see how his usage is played out. Maybe he can play some special teams as well. We'll have to see with this new kickoff shit. But regardless of those facts, I am very happy Terrell Edmonds is back on the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. And if you guys, like I said, if you guys been following me for a little bit, you know how happy I am about this. I've been clamoring about this. I've been saying over and over and over, hey, we should go get Terrell Edmonds back. And ladies and gentlemen, we got him back, man. So Zaya and the Steelers, like, they've been listening, they've been watching the show. I appreciate that, Mike Tomlin. I appreciate that, Omar Khan. I appreciate that, Pittsburgh Steelers. And I appreciate all of you guys out there for once again for watching me. I know it's been a little bit since my last video. I want to say I uploaded a video on like Monday, and here it is Friday. Now it's been a little bit for sure since my last video. But that's just, you know what I'm saying, how the cookie has crumbled. I am excited, though, for some football this week. I'm excited to see the Steelers go 2-0 against the Denver Broncos. And I'm excited to see Justin Fields play some more football, man. So we will see how all of that goes Anyways, I think that is going to do it for me for this video. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. Once again, I make videos about the Steelers all the time, so if that's something you enjoy, hit that subscribe button. Anyways, this has been Zaya from Zaya and the Steelers, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.